SPAC is really a way and a tool to finance companies. So it's an extension of our business. Our business is about raising money, investing in companies, and helping them grow, obviously in a listed format. So I think, SPAC enable us to help grow company probably in a very efficient manner. And as we all know, Europe has been really late. You just mentioned 100 billion raised in the US versus 88 billion for the entire 2020 year. So I think, it's a new trend in Europe and it's a powerful tool. So for us, it's really an additional tool to raise money and help company to grow. And we did that with Financière Agache, Bernard Arnault holding company, just to make sure that we can, support, help grow companies in the near future.
Antoine, there is a group of skeptics out there, and I've got to be honest, I am one of them, who believe actually there's no problem with young companies which have a growth future finding capital at the moment. There's VC, PE money, there's money just about everywhere in this low interest rate environment. I've got this horrible suspicion this is all about giving greater returns to the sponsors and co-founders of these SPACs rather than to the companies themselves and the investors in those SPACs. Tell me why I'm wrong, sir.
Yeah, I mean, two questions in your question. First of all, it's true that there are a lot of available capital now, probably more in Asia and in US than in Europe. I mean, Europe have always been late at any stage of a company, from VC, to large company. So I think in Europe, it's less true that there is an abundance of capital, number one. And number two, the way we see SPAC at Tikehau is a little bit different because we will invest in the SPAC. So we'll invest minimum 10%, and then we do some FPF for our purchase agreement. So that means that we have real skin in the game. So we have more money for our shareholder to make rather than just getting a promote. So very different than just getting a promote in a SPAC.
Antoine, I want to ask you about momentum and SPACs at this point, because it's been noted in the United States that initially you used to see these pop on day one of the SPACs, hopes that they would acquire a fairly decent unicorn. So you had them trading up by about 30% on day one. This week, if you look at the 15 SPACs that have listed, only one of them has risen. The rest have all dropped below that $10 mark. Are you seeing any fatigue in the SPAC listings in Europe at this point?
I think, Europe, as I said, is very late. So I think, the tendency obviously is changing and changing fast. In Europe, in the US, it's been a little bit crazy. I mean, when you see the size of the entire money raise, that's create really different environment and probably turbulence on the prices. So I think it's going to rest a little bit in the US, probably especially in the technology space, because valuation have been really crazy. And by the way, you mentioned low interest rate, abundance of capital. There are probably a lot of bubbles everywhere, and that will be probably including also in the SPAC space. But Europe is really new in this territory. You've got less than 10 SPACs so far. So I think it will take a little bit of time to be in the same situation.
Antoine, what's fascinated me has been the star players that have gone into SPACs, some of the exits from major Swiss investment banks. The CEOs of those groups have gone into SPACs. The CEOs of some of the big Italian banks also going that direction. And some of them working with you, Jean-Pierre Mustier and Diego De Giorgi, two big names we've been talking about on the channel this year. What can you say about the expertise that is going into the SPAC sector at this point?
I think the chemistry, the secret sauce to make a successful SPAC is to make sure that you have talented people around the table, talented people as CEOs, talented people as board member, and if you can have on top of that a strong sponsor, I think it's creating probably more value for the company to get listed and help them grow. So in the particular case, we decided to team up with Jean-Pierre Mustier and Diego Di Giorgi because the first SPAC we are launching with Financière Agache is a SPAC dedicated to financial services. And obviously Jean-Pierre and Diego has a very strong career and very successful career in the financial services industry. And the chairwoman of the board is Isabelle Ealet, who has been running securities division for Goldman Sachs. So, we put together a group of seasoned professionals to make sure we identify the right target and we help this company to grow.